Good morning, everybody. It's David Wildstein at the New Jersey Globe. I'm speaking with Frank Pallone, Congressman from New Jersey's 6th District. Congressman, good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, David. It's election day, so as you know, this is our favorite day.
It is. It is. Congressman, I've been watching your political career since that first Long Branch race 40 years ago. I remember the race against Brian Kennedy in '83 that you were not supposed to win, and you did. And one takeaway, it's just this is what it is. You have a reputation for taking every single election seriously, just not taking your foot off the gas and plowing through it. So you've been running a pretty active campaign. This is a new district. Tell me how you think it's going. How are you going to do tonight?
Well, it's going well, and I'm hopeful that we're going to win. We've got a great campaign, as you mentioned. I mean, we have, I don't know, maybe 12 different sites today where people going out and knocking on doors. Over the weekend, we called everybody who still hadn't voted. We're texting. We're doing all kinds of things to make sure that people get out and vote.
Is this going to be a good night for Frank Pallone in New Jersey?
I believe so. I mean, I'm running on my record, as I always say, and I always keep mentioning that, I get things done. I think Democrats in general get things done. And I guess I get constantly disappointed when I hear my opponent and other Republicans saying we shouldn't do things in Washington. In other words, I believe that the reason you're elected is because you want to, do infrastructure, because you want to make things affordable, like prescription drugs, and that you have to be an activist as a member of Congress or as a politician.
And I mean, this is a midterm election with a president of your party in the White House. This is not your first rodeo in that regard. You dealt with a tough cycle in '94. You dealt with another one in 2010. This one seems to be a little different. This seems to be emotions running higher, voters more polarized. Are you concerned nationally about how voters are addressing this? Whether Democrats are taking this seriously as you'd like, whether the Republicans who might be in controlling in the House next year, maybe more difficult than Republican speakers that you've dealt with in the past?
Well, they always say that midterm elections are tough for the party of the president. I mean, I guess historically that's true, but to be honest, I don't think this election has been nationalized, David. I know the Republicans want to nationalize it and act as if every Democrat and every Republican has the same view, opposite but similar views of their party. But I don't think that's true. When I go around, I think that people are still focusing on the candidates and the job that the candidates are doing, or not necessarily saying, I'm just going to vote Democrat or I'm just going to vote Republican. At least that's my feeling.
And so you're on, Congressman, you're chairman of the House Energy and Commerce Committee. It is one of the most influential positions on Capitol Hill. You're essentially on the ballot twice today. Your name for your own seat and your chairmanship for your party. What are you looking for besides? And I know you're going to say, if you list your priorities, Long Branch first, then the 6th District, then everything else. But
that's not true. That may be true for my brother, the mayor of Long Branch, but not for me.
Well, I joke that you are, he's got a bargain for you as his chief of staff at $0 a year. So, but what do you watch?
Funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. Last night, David, not to interrupt you, we were at a location and I had one person come up to me and say, well, how you doing, Mayor? People confuse the two of us. They do. I mean, that's true.
Well, given his percentage in May, maybe you're running on.
He ran out of votes. Right. I've never had that luxury.
Never had that, but maybe you're running on John Palone's coattails a little bit today. So what are you watching nationally? What concerns you the most in terms of Democrats keeping control of the House what's going on in the Senate? You're a national figure. What are you looking at today in outside of New Jersey?
Well, I just feel that, we've accomplished so much with the Democratic majority and with the Democratic President Biden. And I would like to go back to Congress so that we can continue a lot of those things. So, for example, as you know, the prescription and negotiated prices for prescription drugs, that has to be implemented. The Affordable Care Act, which was one of the things that I started, 10 years ago when Obama was president. We increased the subsidies, we increased the tax credits, we made more people eligible, but we've got to get that word out. So, I just think that as Democrats, keeping the House, keeping the Senate is important in order to continue with the policies that I believe in. I mean, one of the things that disturbed me the most the last couple of weeks, and I know it's foreign policy, is when Kevin McCarthy, who would be Speaker if the Republicans in majority, said that we're going to stop aid to the Ukraine. I mean, I think that the war in Ukraine and defense of democracy there is so important, and I would hate to see that reversed by a Republican majority. And the same is true for so many things. McCarthy said we're going to cut entitlements, which could be Social Security and Medicare. So, there's a lot at stake here. There really is. And not just for me, but in general. And a lot of these things, not the foreign policy, but a lot of the domestic policy comes out of my committee, as you mentioned.
Right. Well, Congressman Pallone, I mean, it's a big day, and best of luck to you, today and throughout the evening, and we'll talk again soon.
All right. Thanks a lot,
Thank you
David.
for coming on. Thanks, Congressman.
Take care. Bye.